Hello, hello. Congratulations, you've managed to make me do a non-Sudoku. I thought I'd get away with it, but I probably won't in the later rounds of the Skunkworks League either, to be fair. But anyway, standard Fillomino, and then we're drawing an entropic loop throughout the grid, so that's always gonna, it can never like stay in a region, which might be interestingly. Can't touch itself orthogonally, but diagonally it's fine. And then these crabs slide around sideways. Remind me of the old comic of a crab and a shrimp and something else, I think, on a starting line, and then the shrimp goes backwards. Anyway, sorry. Crabs going sideways, depending on how far or what's on their number, how far they move. And they've always got to end up inside the big net, inside the entropic loop thing. They can land on it. They just can't escape it. So, where do we want to start looking, I wonder? So place your bets if that 7 hit itself or not. It's a little hard to see, isn't it? Slightly helps. So, if I want to be thinking about loops or if I want to be thinking about region, and also where it is I want to break into this puzzle as well. Just double checking the rules to see if we step sideways. Yeah. Oh, and equal to or less, for the number less than or equal to. Yes, I think that was the rule that I thought would come into play. So these can't be 1s because then you'd be touching another 1. Certainly are allowed to take 2 steps. And this guy scuttling along the so he also goes that way, doesn't he? Scuttling along the outside implies that at some point the loop reaches the outside, doesn't it? So that's true here as well, isn't it? This guy can't move very far either. He's moving. Yes, and then he's got to come this way. So there's a fair number of interactions there. That's so this is the point where I decide I think I want to do lines for crab movement and outside lines for Fillomino, but and then colors for the loop, I think, is what I want to do. And loop, yeah, so the loop, the fact that wherever you end up on the loop, or if you start in the loop, you've got to end on the loop. That's something to note, isn't it? You start inside the loop, you can end in, and everything along it has to be loop. Yeah. So if you start off inside the loop, you're going to be. Here's a random thought. This cell has to be loop because if it's not, then this guy, then this would have to be loop, and then that would touch itself orthogonally. So that's definitely loop, which is useful. if this guy went all the way into the corner, then the loop, because the loop would be doing that, this would have to be a 1 anyway for it not to touch itself. Is that the same case as if, because that one of these would be a 1, and of course there's interactions here as well, isn't there? Oh, yeah, so that would put the loop like that, and that would have to be a 1 with 1 big and 1 small Fillomino. Oh, and it's interesting as well that, of course, the polyomino can be massive. I need to make sure I remember that, but anything on the loop controls itself slightly, doesn't it? Yeah, because so if you start on the loop, then you can't escape the loop, and everything on your line has to be loop. So if that's loop, oh, this can't be 4, can it? That's either moving 2 or 3. So if that goes 4, it goes to 1. If it goes 3, it's got to go to 1 because that would then be 2. And if it goes 2, it obviously goes to 1. No, it could go to 2, couldn't it? Here's another thought. This cell has to be loop because if it's not, your loop does that. The crab stays inside and moves 2, going to either a 2 or a 1, so that's not allowed. So that cell has to be loop. But I have confused myself a bit. In fact, oh no. Stop doing Sudoku, Joan. That's not allowed. That's my problem with when I try and solve non-Sudoku puzzles. I will just look at that and think, oh, 2, 3 pair. No. If that's 4, that does go to 1. If it's 2, it annoyingly can go to 2. That seems okay. So if this crab was loop, of course everything would have, it would all have to be loop. And what would that mean? I mean, it couldn't be a 2 at that point. You can easily get away with being a 3. In fact, I think you'd have to be a 3 going to a 1, 2, or 3 there. This little crabby can't come down, can he? He's going up. Soon as a crab's path is on the loop, it's stuck on the loop for life. I thought that could be a 4 that can move 5, can't it? I'm really struggling to count low-digit numbers at the moment. So everything else looks okay, doesn't it? I think so. So if this was 4, you'd go to here. Your loop, yes, that breaks, doesn't it? Okay. So if that's 4, you'd have to go to here. Your loop would do this. The problem is that would be a 1. And both of these would have to grow this way and that way, wouldn't they? And then they'd all be in the same region, which isn't allowed. And that's just strictly the case always, that you can never go into a corner. Because that has to be a 1, and both of these would come out to the same point. I can pink all of those. Pink that, blue that. So, and he can't travel 4 now, and it's not a 2, 3 pair. So of course, if it is a pair of 2s, that cell can be 2, but I don't think that's that useful. So the loop comes up and around like this. So these do have the same entropy. But of course, anything... Oh, this is... I'm going to get so confused by my notation. Anything not on this has to grow. So depending on where this guy turns, if he turns into there, it's interesting because that would be a 3 going to a 1, 2, 3 there. If he turns up, then what would that imply? Turns up. So that would be pink. This thing, if it, and that's in the case that it did have to escape. Of course, it doesn't strictly have to escape. It always makes me feel like I've done something. So at least one of those is blue. If that one wasn't, but you could go like that, couldn't you? Here's a thought. If that's 5, that implies that that's blue. Oh, don't... No. Inside the loop. So these ones had to land on the loop because they're on the edge. This one, that's not the case. It can just be caught by the loop. Remember how the rules work. Hopefully. So yeah, so 3, go to 1, 2, 3 there. So this guy's at least relatively big. Because one of these is relatively small. Exactly one of them is relatively small. Which might be interesting. I'm now getting wary that other things I've said is untrue, but I think it's all fine. Seems to be all fine. So, of course, these two can't share. So if that was 3 going to 1, 2, or 3, this guy would come up like that. And this guy couldn't therefore come into there. You'd get a border there, but that doesn't really matter. Because that could be just a 1 on its own. This guy does have to escape, though, doesn't he? So whichever way, if that turns like that, he escapes this way. And if you come up, yes, if you can't come up, because, yes, yeah, sorry. So this is small, and this is big, and the same as that. So you get this region, that becomes pink, and they're the same. You get a border there. He's going to keep on going his merry way upwards. Nice. Very good indeed. There's a border there, of course. This guy can't travel 3 now, because it'll drop onto there. Yeah, I need to be careful that he doesn't have to drop onto a border. Again, I think I've managed that. Hopefully, touch wood. If this guy is blue, right, then, well, obviously his whole... Oh, and again, yeah. No, I am being very silly. If he's blue, his whole path doesn't have to be blue. I need to stop saying things that are untrue, because ignoring what I've drawn so far, the loop could loop around like this, and you can stop being blue, you just can't escape. But I think that everything else is okay. Hopefully. And these two have the same high-lowness. So yeah, so I was just thinking if that's blue, then that couldn't be. But at that point, so if this is blue, look like that. This would be the case. This would be the case. This would come up. There is something peculiar about if you're inside the loop or if you're not, isn't it? I think that's all fine. But if this is blue, then that would have to turn up like that. Oh, yeah, that breaks. If this is blue, you come up like this. This guy's relatively big, but you can't escape through there or there. I think I'm starting to get the gist of what sort of things I'm meant to be looking out for. So now this region comes all the way up to there. That's not a 2. Whichever way this guy goes, in terms of where the loop goes, they're different regions. Yeah, it's so weird that you're sort of keep getting trapped by, because once you're trapped on one side, 2 of the other sides are trapping you because of where the loop goes. So if the loop were to turn in, that would break, because where does this region go? So the loop comes up. Therefore, that's cut off. It's not a 3. This could be part of that. This has at least got to go up to here, implying it's not loop. But those 3 are in the same region. That could be a region of size 4, potentially. Would be allowed. This is a big boy region, which could now be the same as that one, because they have got the same entropy. Is it worth doing this sort of thing along the loop, I wonder? I'm thinking not, because I want to save some of the colours. Of course, this is a 3, which has to grow like that. Therefore, that could happily be a 3. It could happily be a 2. So he moves to there, doesn't he? Yeah, which is fine. This crab can't come this way because that would then be outside the loop. He's definitely traversing upwards. And he's an edge crab, so would have to be... of course, he's got to come this way as well, because can't travel on not 2. Which, does that tell you that this guy... he can't travel 4 anymore. He's traveling at most 3. That couldn't be a 3 because of this. But yeah. One of these is pretty mega. Of course. Oh, hang on. If that's loop, that breaks because these 2, yeah, that's not loop. So that is loop, and therefore these are in the same big old party, which is absolutely fine. In fact, we're on to 1, 2, 3 next, aren't we? So I think I am going to yellow-orange flash, you know. These are both yellow flashes as well, aren't they? So that guy can't be blue because you need a... Oh, yeah, because then the loop would be doing that, and then you'd get two... That would be yellow flash, which isn't allowed. Yeah. So that is non-loop. This is, of course, a border. He could grow, but he doesn't have to. Oh, this can't be massive, can it? Or can it? Oh, well, I was thinking if that was loop, it would have to be part of the yellow flash, which would therefore either be a 4 or 5. But that's only the case where that's loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, so this can't be 9s at least. Which might be useful at some point. Unlikely, and of course 8 does actually escape, so this can't be 8s either. So if this is big, it'd have to be of size 7. Which is quite potentially fine. Which is potentially quite fine. Except... Yeah, no, that's okay, isn't it? Yeah. This little crab... He looks very unlikely to be able to travel downwards. Yep, he's going to have to go up. Particularly interesting. He's looking very likely to go this way. Yeah, here's the thing. If that 3 turns up like this, then orange flash would have to grow up like that, and the loop would also. The loop just gets stuck. So that's not 3, this is 3. He's travelled as far as he wants to go. Which I might attempt to change some colours. But, to be like, this has moved as far as he's gonna. Hang on, 1, 2. He's moved quite far now, hasn't he? And will in fact... Oh, he's moving to here. I think. That's whack. So they are 4s. And we've found the first... Oh, no, second. Found another Fillomino. That's so whack. Hopefully that's true. It feels like I'm making some very solid progress at the moment. And I'm therefore a bit dubious of if what I'm doing is actually right. So this guy's definitely not loop. And this crab is traveling miles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if that wasn't loop, then he can't be caught. So that's definitely on the loop. And that's therefore definitely on the loop, or else this gets very trapped. Nice. So yeah, so those two cut off like that in terms of region. Break up your regions. Oh, is there something interesting? Yeah, because if you're traversing anti-clockwise, you're going smallest, largest, middlest. Which is probably easier to think of if you're going clockwise, you're going in the natural order of things. If that was loop, then all those would be loop, and this 6 wouldn't get trapped. except it would, yeah, that's not allowed. Because that would be, no, that would be from 6. 6 and 4 is in the same entropic group. It's weird. This guy can't be 5 or 6 because he's then trapped in by this. This is strictly 4. And, of course, the loop stops him being... So one of these 2 cells will be a 4. And the other one will be from 7, 8, and 9. That would have to be from 7. And this would have to be the same as that, which it could be. It's not really having a problem. I can get rid of the yellows and oranges. Yeah, oh, that's a lot more easy to see things again. That's good to have managed to do. Which is nice. So yeah, so I am saying that this would be allowed to be loop. I do hope that what I've done wasn't because the incorrect assumption that you have to end on loop. Go with it's okay. If this crab was loop, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why have I made these 6s? These are at least 7s. That's where I was getting so confused. Yeah, these are mega. Right, okay, and he's definitely stopping there. Has to be loop. Oh, that can be a 7. Oh, well, no, because drawing some more region borders. Polyomino borders. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting very confused. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So he could be loop and then be a 7 as well. That would be okay. This be region border? No, because yeah, it's another 7. That's the point. Good. I was literally about to do Sudoku. At least that would break incredibly quickly. If you turn like that, where are you going next? Yeah, so the loop has to come up. So this is part of this border. And you can't take another 4 at that point. That's not loop. So you go up with that's good. Leads to see a 2, 3 there. So that could be... Well, in fact... Yeah, so we can't close the loop, of course. So this is one of the examples that variously breaks my initial thinking that he's going to start on the loop and then end up actually either inside it. He might end up on the loop again, but either way, he is chilling. So if that was loop, then the loop would do this because it couldn't close yet. And would have to come up again. And that's interesting because 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Looks like that's going to be okay-ish. And it's weird how this, at least at the moment, looks like it could get away with being a loop. That is loop, of course. Then this would have to be loop in that case. So if that's loop, then you couldn't turn because then that would be outside. So that would have to be loop. But that looks pretty okay, I'd say. Your 7s would come out to here, so this crab would move a long way, but sure. And then this could join onto that 4 if he really wanted. You know what I'm on about? It's the exact same thing as this corner, isn't it? You're not allowed to do this because this is the 3. Yes. It's the exact same as the corner. So whenever I see... But that's okay because you can drop down. So you need to see something with... So like if that was pink, that would have to be... That couldn't be blue. That's the point. Yeah. No, it's only... Hang on. I'm getting so confused. Right. It works in this case because that 3 sort of acts as a 1 with its 2 region borders. And... yeah. Whereas I'm not convinced by how it works in other ways, but I am convinced by how it breaks in here because this region would have to grow like that, but that region would also grow like that. So this guy's definitely pink, which is interesting, which means this guy's pink because he's a 7. It's too big. Trapped. And we're going to have to get inside the loop at some point. So if that was pink, then we're definitely not inside the loop. So that is definitely blue. And I know it comes from 1 and 2. So that's now pink because it can't connect there. We can't... These are the same number. So that's always been pink. Yeah, don't know why I didn't think that. 4, 5, and 6. He's going to grow into here. Which closes that, which closes our big old 4. Which this would be traveling anti, which would be fine to pick up a 4. It's not so much of a problem. But more progress. We like to see more progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's exactly how far he travels. So that's at most 7. Yep. If this was 3, it would turn up. If that was 2, right? Oh, no, that's okay, because that would be 3. But, now hang on, if that... Yeah. If this wasn't loop, and the loop does this, then he's caught here, he's caught there and there, so we would turn into there, and that breaks that because of the 2s and the 3s. So I'm saying this is loop, which loops us all the way around like that. It's now pretty big, so that can't be loop. This guy's getting pretty trapped. This guy's getting pretty trapped. That's big again, isn't it? So that's pink. Yeah, that's pink. Which doesn't look like it says anything. Immediately, anyway. This is pink. Surely you can't come down here, can you? If you came down to the depths. Just looks so wrong. This would be from 7. Yeah. 7? Oh, can that escape? That would be so mad. Or I think it works with that being 1, these all being 7s. That's crazy. How does this work? No, wait, hang on. No, I think this guy's getting stuck, isn't he? Yes, okay, this guy's getting stuck. Oh, that would have been cool, though. Because this guy comes from 4, 5, and 6. And he's getting caught. So I can pink all of that. So if this crowd tried to come down, he'd have to move exactly 2. And this would all be blue. Oh, and that wouldn't work because you'd get too many small guys next to each other. So he comes up. This one's potentially allowed to drop down. Hang on a minute. This guy's moving masses. He moves all the way up to the top. Huh. And therefore his loop sits on the outside. Now he's on the outside. Good. That's all looking okay at the moment. See, that's a region border. Do the obvious ones. 7s don't have to come up, I don't think. So if you did come down, then you come down like that. Actually, that seems okay. I think that would work. This guy is now getting pretty trapped. He's either moving 2 or 3. Oh, this guy was always moving down, wasn't he? Do I want to put in that this can move 1, 2, 3? Yeah, because that does at least stop him being a 7. Huh. Interesting. Can you still move down? If you did, you'd have to move down exactly 2. Going to a 1 or a 2. Should be okay, shouldn't it? I'm pretty sure. Scrab could move 7 as well if he wanted. It's the first one where it's caused a border there, sort of thing. This 7, we kind of need another border first, don't we, for him to what am I trying to say? Oh, and interestingly, of course, yeah, hang on. If you're turning like that, then he does at least temporarily escape the net, which he's not allowed to do. So that does come up. Huh. That's weird. And isn't that's true again? You can't turn that way. Because it will have temporarily escaped the net. So at some point this cuts across him to remain inside. Oh, this little guy is also moving 2 or 3. I like that there's a decent range of some of them moving quite short, but some of them moving quite far. So he looks very happy to be trapped. Not going to be a problem there, I don't think. That obviously can't be the next loop because he's big again. So the next loop, wherever it goes, has to be small. Oh, it has to be medium even. But you know what I mean. Two there puts 2 there and makes this a 7. That's 7. 2 here, 2 here, 3 here, 7's there. Harumph. 2 next. Yeah, so if that was blue, that would be a 7. Part of this 7's. This crab would move all the way up. So same reasoning, this cell would be blue. Be 4, 5, or 6. Right, I think I've understood the differences when I was looking at some corners and stuff. So for here, if this guy did have to grow, that's absolutely fine because this side doesn't necessarily have to grow like that. If that was against a border, he would. If that was from 1, 2, or 3. But that's not necessarily, and it's all fine. So if this did turn to this way, that would be from 7, 8, 9. Then would have to come up. So these would all be part of the same party. And then this guy would come up. That seems okay. Sorry, if he turns like this, then comes upwards. And therefore he's starting outside, which doesn't it doesn't make much difference. I was just wondering if I could cut this guy out, but shouldn't really. I know I've got a blue somewhere down column 1. Somewhere. It's probably not helpful. I'm at a bit of a stuck point at the moment. If that is blue, then this does have to be 3's like that. 2's like this, 7's coming out like that. He could also be a 7 all the way up to the top, sadly. If that was blue... Oh, this is interesting. If that's blue, that has to be blue. You could, in theory, loop around like that. Hoping to make that non-blue. I think it's okay to be. Where do I want to look? 3's these 7's. 7's really struggling to escape at all. I mean, if that's 8 or 9, like all of this has... Yeah. Oh, no, because that could be a 1. Curse that being a 1. Why have I said that can't be 3, by the way? So I think I was thinking it had to be less than, but it's not strict, is it? Less than or equal to. That's very happy to be a 3 like that. Oh, I hope I haven't made that same mistake somewhere else. I don't think so. I think we are okay. So the silly mistakes, though. Because if that is 3, I mean, it could come this way even, but it's quite likely that that's just a 3 thing going on here. If that's blue, that's a 7. Then into a 4, 5, or 6. One of those are blue, or one of those is blue. Could. No. Oh no, that can work with a 1 here. It's weird, isn't it? Very strange indeed. Seven. I'm a little perplexed at the moment, that's for sure. Let's say, why can't that move 4? Because it hits another crab. Can you really drop down? I would have to. Oh dear Lord, sorry. I would have to drop down exactly 2 and be a 1 or a 2 there. So, and then the loop would have to come down. So if this crab moves down, the loop moves down. Therefore, that's quite a big number. It doesn't even have to be an 8. In fact, yeah, it's getting cut off by the 7 anyway, because if the loop comes down, then this 4, 5, and 6, which will take some of these cells, cuts this one off and forces it upwards. It could still be 3. This comes down, it moves 2. That's already its 2 there. Is that what this 2 is doing? To come down like this. It would make that a 1, because otherwise the 2 would come up. Oh, that feels quite likely now that he does come down. That's kind of interesting. The rest of this seems to be working as well. All dandily fine. Annoying that you can touch diagonally. I'd potentially have some things to say about where this loop is going. Except not really, because he could come around like that. Be A-okay. That can't branch off. And what counts as inside the loop? It's almost tempting to highlight some stuff as being this is all strictly outside loop. Let's make outside loop green for a brief moment. This is all strictly outside. This is all strictly outside. This is all strictly inside loop. Yeah, that's the problem. Like that cell, I don't know if it's inside loop or outside loop at the moment. Because my point was that I could now highlight all of these as being either blue or pink. Is never green. Because I then wanted to, because I'm saying that this has to turn this way. For it to all join up and work out, doesn't it? If I can get some sort of idea of what. I just want to think about the meta side of things of what this loop will be doing. It's got to contain all of the crabs. Seems quite happy doing so like that. God, I can't believe it's been an hour already. I'm going to go. I think there were some questions about this in the judging thing, so I'm going to have a look at those if I do reach an hour and I haven't got anywhere, because I am feeling rather stuck at present. If this is loop at 7, it forces all of this, it forces all of that. That feels like we're having problems. Yeah, we're having problems. No, because that could be... Yeah. We're having problems up here, aren't we? So, because of all these region borders, and these two have different entries, one of them has to be big. Right, okay. So, isn't that... That's literally just the case that this can't be blue. Yeah. This guy's definitely pink. That's blue. That's pink. That's blue. That's blue. This is 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6. Close those off. This is more of this stuff. 7, 8, 9 up like that. He's now only allowed to move 6 at most. There's another region border there. The 7 continues. I don't particularly like this whole green thing. I'll go back to that for the time being. That's obviously not loop, so the loop comes up. 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. Close that. He is going to come out like this. Here we go. We're making progress again. Nice. That's a 1 on its own. Certainly doesn't turn that way. Certainly doesn't join up. Keeps on growing. Becomes 7, 8, 9. Do that. Do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He is now potentially at his final form. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's also potentially stopped there. These blues look like they're going to have to connect. Crab is currently outside the grid, outside the loop. That's fine. This guy has to travel 3. I'm pleased that I put that 3 back in. But he is now satisfied. Close that off. Yes. Oh, okay. I would have been getting very confused at this point, wouldn't I? 5, 6. Close that. That's... Oh, hello. So that's not loop. Loop keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Close that to make this from 7, 8, 9. Close this guy. He could be finished. But that is some excellent work. 5 and 6 for this guy to come up and out. It's obviously not loop at that point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if that was 8, it would take that and then it traps that cell. That's weird. So these aren't from 8. That could be 8 escaping that way. But this could also just be 9 down here. Very weird indeed. I do like those sort of deductions that take out those 8s. You are allowed to turn into this guy because he's the right number. I would want to be turning into, that's another 1. Feels like we're going to get quite a few ones, I want to say. So, particularly around here. 7 7s. So if that was 9, of course, it takes both of those and then stops. If it's 7, this is going to escape. It's not really anything. If this was blue, it would be from 1, 2, and 3. That looks okay, actually. That's pretty weird. Do we know? Because, I mean, this is definitely going to connect somehow in this grid. Yeah. That's always taking the same number of steps, isn't it? I was thinking it might not, but it always does. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. That's lovely because all those come from 7, 8, 9. So that, make that 7, 8, 9. Close this, close that. Bring this guy out. Get another 1. I bring back my prediction that we'll have lots of 1s. That can't be blue now. If this guy was blue, he's coming in at the wrong time. That can't be 3 now. This does have to be 2. To there. This one might do something interesting later, it feels like. I don't think it's doing something straight away. How far he moves. This can't be pink blue now, though. This is loop. I think that's quite likely to be part of the same Fillomino. Shall see. Just checking all my crab movements, but I'm pretty convinced that's all okay. That can't be loop because this 1, 2, 3 pair. That just keeps on coming on up, doesn't it? 4, 5, and 6 there, closing that off. And if that's loop, then you have to be loop all the way because you've now entered here, haven't you? Oh, and this guy is... Yeah, that can't be loop because of this whole thing. I think I've broken the puzzle. Oh no. Because as soon as you turn out, this crab's leaving the net. No matter what. Because on this loop, on one side it's the outside, on one side it's the inside. Assuming we've got a Euclidean puzzle. Which I assume we do. So I'm very concerned how this is going to go. I can't see these two. Oh, how on earth do these two connect? Because at the moment I'm saying still can't connect. You can't hit here or else you get 2 loops. Oh, can he do a little branch away? I think he's going to have to, isn't he? That would sort of make sense in my head. That this guy will have to Because that's... like, what? Oh no, hang on. Somehow we are now able to connect. Aren't we? Yeah, because at this point we've been legally allowed to connect. That's weird. I don't really understand how that is a thing, but that is a thing. So let's prove that it would have to be the case. If this guy turned like that, he'd then have to come up and up again, and then that breaks. So he's definitely coming up like that. If this was pink, then you'd end up with a closed loop on this side. So that's definitely blue, and that does weirdly work. Man, that's strange. That's all pink now. That guy's pink. This guy's pink. That's blue. Close our borders. Pop that in. Close that border. Funky puzzle. We surely know what entropy this has. Yeah, that's got to have 4, 5, and 6 entropy. Kind of am now wanting to go back to... This can't be 3, by the way. I'm trying to say this has got to grow that way because he doesn't have enough space otherwise. Go on, finish your first thought. Going back to colours on the inside and colours on the outside might help me make sure I'm keeping track of some stuff, but the Mo, I think it is okay to get away with. There's something weird going on. Oh no, can that get out? That region could join through there, I think. So I was worried otherwise that he wasn't escaping. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ha. He doesn't necessarily have to take that, I don't think. Although, if he doesn't take this cell, that would have to be 7s like that. And then this guy just gets instantly trapped. That does come out like this. This guy can't be a 1. That has to be a 2. It's all part of those regions. This region didn't necessarily have to grow. He could just be chilling all the way down here. Similarly with that. And yeah, that's kind of a shame that he can get out. Because otherwise it would have sort of closed off this right-hand area with the 7, 8, 9s, and that feels like that would have done some logic. And maybe I missed that was a thing. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I think it's still true, isn't it? If you don't come out to here, then you're trapped like this, but the 4, 5, and 6 is still trapped. Yeah. Yeah. So that was okay. That was okay. That was okay. That was okay. Cool. Cool. 7, 8, 9 there's interesting. So these are all part of the same big old party. If that was loop, then what's this guy doing connecting to that? That's not allowed. That's so cool. So he comes out like this. That's another one. More ones. We love it. More ones. Excellent. More ones. Very good indeed. 7, 8, 9. There's all escaping. This is all pink. He is moving 4. Look at him go. And that becomes a 4. Oh, clean. And this comes a 7 because, of course, it does. Awesome. 5. Can't take both of those. Said it. Yeah, said it has to all come out here. 1, 2, 3. So I think that is the only way that works. I'm pretty happy I have proved that. So hopefully nothing breaks or else. Okay, that's looking okay. That's looking okay. I was literally about to do Sudoku on that again. I thought I'd gotten out of my bad habit. This 2 has to grow to here now. It's not 2 anymore. That'd be a 3, quite possibly. I don't really see why it wouldn't have, or couldn't be. Yeah, let's have a look inside all this stuff. Because in here you've got 7, 10, 13, 16, 18. You can think you can hand wave that away relatively. I mean, this can't be a 7 because then that's running out of space. And these two are definitely the same, at least, aren't they? So you're actually sort of struggling to fill. If those were 9s, and if these were 9s, yeah, this is interesting. If these are 9s, these would be 8s. 1, 2, 3. Then that, will I actually count them all? 7, 10, 13, 16, 18. Yeah. So if that's 7s, sorry, if that's 9s, this can't be another thing of 9s. It would have to be, these are 9s. These are definitely 8s with either a 1 hidden somewhere or one of these poking in. Both of which seem okay. But if these are 7s, that breaks because these are all part of the same thing. But that's too much, man. Yeah. These are all 9s. These are all 8s. And I suppose it could even be that thing poking in, couldn't it? I'm fighting the will to not click the check mark. I believe in myself. A bit. Not really. Especially not with a Fillomino. Oh no, I'll take that back. I did. I can't. Which one was it? The one that was a massive grid. And you had to find various 3x3 versions. It started in the bottom right. You had killer cages that acted on Fillomino and in the 3x3 normal Sudoku. That was a very cool puzzle. So there's definitely something going on with all of these that I haven't quite understood. This 4, 5, and 6 does have to come down because otherwise it would take all of that, and that's taking away too many cells from the 8s. So this is very interesting because you know that, for example, that's all part of the same region. And this is all part of the same region. So they could all be one massive 6. They wanted to be. Interesting. I'm totally trying to meta this and be like, if that was all one massive 6, it feels like this has layers of ambiguity because that could be 2, 1, 1, and then the 8's there. You could be 2 8s and then the 2's there. So I know that's not all a 6, but won't be taking that anytime soon. If that's the loop, that couldn't be loop at that point. That would have to go loop loop. Or if that is loop, goes loop loop. That couldn't be a 2. Oh, and I suppose that, yeah, I couldn't do that to this guy anyway. So loop, 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 loop. Either way, this cell comes from 7, 8, and 9 because either you're looking like that or you're looking like this, and then this is 7, 8, 9 and escapes that way. This annoyingly can turn up. Oh, and here's something interesting. I think that's a border. That I think that's not a border. If that is a border, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that would have to be 9 things, wouldn't it? Yeah. So this comes out. Both of those Fillomino borders. This dude can't move 7. That's way too much. So the 7 comes down. Gonna be a battle of the 7s down here for sure, isn't there? Can I really not do more? Yeah. If the loop does that, then what on earth is this 4, 5, 6 doing? So the loop does come around like this. These are all 4, 5, 6s. This is yet another of my favorites. The 1s. Then from this direction, we're going small, then mega. Close that, close that. These are all 4s. That's what we like to see. Very nice and good. So if that's 3, that's then small, and then this guy's coming down. I wonder if we won't have any massive regions. That's always kind of nice in terms of you don't have to do funny answer check things, do you? Everything comes from 1 to 9. Right. Where do I want to be looking, I wonder? If that's blue, that breaks. So that would be 7, 8, 9. And isn't it straight up the case that if that's blue, that would also be 7, 8, 9? Yeah. So that's definitely pink, which pink's that. Sort of unsurprising that that's all pink. I think I would now quite like to make that green. Make all this green. This green. Although it does kind of clash. I'm not going to lie. I'll stick with pink. Pink is fine. Everything else is just doing its own thing. That's okay. I want to put that in terms of if that's 8 or 9, it can't turn up. This could be a 1 or could just be happy. Can this now stop? How many have we now got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 5. The 4. I reckon that's what's going to happen. Oh, it looks quite likely. So and if that was 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. I suppose that's never small, is it? Because if that's loop, it's 4, 5, 6. But if that's loop, that's 7, 8, 9. And isn't that's the exact same thing here? One of them is loop, and one of them is 7, 8, 9. Which again, I feel like I was thinking about earlier on in the puzzle. I've now gotten that's a 7. And they are conjoined. Lovely. So we've got exactly one more 7 in that thing. I thought that was interesting, that being 7, but maybe not actually. Don't think so. 7 could appear up here if it wanted to. It's coming out. This guy coming out. Oh, it's close, isn't it? That's not from 4, 5, and 6. That's obviously not loop, by the way. Going with this. If that's not 4, 5, 6, the 4, 5, 6 has to come around like that, and then this 7, 8, 9 comes out like that. Oh, it does trap it, doesn't it? Because then the blue would have to loop around like this. So that is from 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. And necessarily they're the same? Yeah, surely, because then it's... Otherwise, you're just saying the exact same thing again. Cool. That's got to go 3, of course. Should have seen that when I pencil marked the thingamajig. Which closes this, which makes that. Which is an easier way to see this. Good. This guy can't be a 1. That's a pair of 2s. That can't be loop. Want to say? Yeah, that can't be loop. So that's definitely loop. So this is definitely loop. Which I think it might have always been. Not sure though. That can't be 4, 5, and 6. That is 7, 8, 9. So it's therefore not loop. So that close that. Bring our 4, 5, and 6 all the way around here. Grow him a bit. Close all this. That can't be a 2. That's got to be a 3. But that could be a 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Might be there at that point with these guys. This 4, 5, and 6. That's nice. Let's close all of that off. I think touch wood at the moment. I'm actually doing okay with eye notation and colours and whatnot. We are running smooth. And of course, now I've said that, that can't be loop because it doesn't work with the pattern. That also can't be loop. It's 4, 5, and 6 there. Gonna have to come out this way at some point, of course. That more 7s. But that shouldn't really be an issue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That were 7. Feels unlikely, but also feels like it could work for the time being. Without doing more logic. This can't be 6 anymore. So it would hit 7. Which doesn't feel like much of a deduction, if I'm honest. This guy could be closed. This be loop. It'd have to be from 7, 8, 9. That looks possible. Although, of course, yeah, don't get that this is having to come out. least as far as that. Which way? How are you still unsure about where you want to move? If he's going down, he has to go 2. He's going up. He annoyingly can go 4, but obviously not. Oh, he can go 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, because of this. Gets trapped. So he moves 2, 3, or 4, interestingly. So if that was a loop, then surely that breaks. If this crab is loop, then that's certainly not. This would have to be, not true. Have to be. Oh, come on. How does this not break? Really? Ha. What? That's... What? Well, if that's what happens, that's pretty sick. To be honest. Of course, if the loop... If that's loop, then you're trapped, aren't you? Okay, we're definitely coming down. So that's interesting. Close these, close those. Close this, close that. So this is 7. Escaping that way. So that's not loop. Loop comes around here. This is another 7 again. These are all part of the same party. They're all 6s. It's either a 1 or a 7. Another 1. Very good indeed. 7s, close that. Let's make that not loop. Comes up into 4, 5, or 6. Close that. Another 1. We like our 1s. 5 or 6. That seems okay. And that's because of this, isn't it? Yeah. Just trying to work out why I made that a certain length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, you can. No, you can't go. Yeah, because it's smaller. Is he a brain? Brain is frazzled. 7s is come out. 5, 6 there. So that's pink. That's blue. Please work. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7s. 6 7s. One more of them, please. So one of these will be a 7 and the other one will be a 1, 2, or 3. That's therefore not a 7. Solid deduction. So, yeah, so this can't be blue, can it? Because, yeah. Although that would have been lovely. That would have been pretty cool. So if this is blue, it then comes up. Seems okay. That certainly can't be a 5 looking at where it is. Can't be a 4 either. So yeah, so he's not moving far. So if that was loop, this would have to be a 3. I don't think I can see anything wrong with that for the time being. 5, 6 keeps on coming. That's not loop apparently. That can't be loop because, yeah, that doesn't work. Because it doesn't work. Oh, that is loop. Ooh, and now this does have to be a 6. Very cool. Because he's got to get caught in the net. Awesome. And he comes all the way down to there. That's good. He's currently outside. If that is loop, it would imply the loop does something like this, and then the crab. Oh no, that works with a 2 there. Huh. Yeah, but that doesn't work with these two. So none of that is loop. Very good indeed. We need another 7. Don't forget that. Oh, no, stop. Because that can be 7. Humbug. I bet it is. Again, for... Yeah, no, I bet that has to be. It's my prediction. So after this 1, 2, and 3, we're going to need to hit another 4 and 5 and 6. I'm wondering if I need to do a final count of cells that we got spare, because we got this guy coming in. And of course, we'll start another big 7 big. You can't just go straight at it. Yeah, you can. What am I on about? Yeah, you can. Small, middle, big, small, middle. Yeah. If you did that, you'd go small, middle, big, small, middle, big. That breaks. So you do have to travel directly towards this. Of course, you can do that anyway, because... Oh, no, maybe with this crab, don't know. That's not a 1, though, is it? Right. There's the final. That's not a 4. So there's some interesting things going on with these 1s, 2s, and 3s. If that's 2, it's exactly 2 there. Then this would have to be 3. If that's 3, it'd be 3 like this. Oh, don't forget where he's going to. That's something to keep an eye on that I hadn't thought about. Yeah, if this is blue, then that's blue and that's blue, but those are both either medium or big, and then he's going to struggle. So that's pink and that's blue. It's our final 7, which is nice. This comes out. This can't be a 2 now. So that's either a 3 or a 1. That's, yeah, and that could be 3 there. So the part where lots of things still keep on working right until the end. So I said that this can't be blue for the same reason as why that couldn't be blue. The 4, 5, and 6 in here. And we've now entered this. That can't move 2. That could move 3. Can't move 4. Can't move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can't move 7. That's a 3. Awesome. I like having a 1 in there. So that could well be loop. Probably is. That's okay. Close that. That can't be 2 because of the given 2. So either you get some 3s shaped like this. Should imply that that's... Yeah. If that's 3, yeah, 3's coming around like that, then the loop would come up to a 7, 8, 9, but that 7, 8, 9 would get trapped by the loop. Oh, no, because of this 3. I need to remember that that 3 can be loop still. It is interesting that the next thing is a 7, 8, 9. So if that's loop, that's 7, 8, 9 that has to escape this way. But if that's loop, you get some extra options about where it goes. But going back to, you know, hang on, if that's loop and that's 7, 8, 9, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Curses. Yeah, that totally is the solution, isn't it? Odds on. Then you could have like probably get a 5 and a 2. Weird. If that was 3. If that's 3, do you run out of space? No, that could be 7, 8. 7's like that. I see a different way that one breaks. Oh, hang on. If this is loop, that has to be 2s. And then that breaks. This can't be 2 because then that breaks. That's 3. Right, there we go. And that's not loop. That is loop 7, 8, 9. Oops, that 7, 8, 9's got to escape like this. So this is blue. This is pink. And I worked out more of this, didn't I? That's 1, 2, and 3. This is part of this group, so they can't be 6s. They could be 4s. At this point, you've now got 5, 6, 7. You actually have that cell as well, which I didn't count when I was counting stuff, but I think the logical touchwood hopes keeps happy still. So how on earth are you meant to finish this? Oh, the last 7 goes here. Could be 5, 4. Seems okay. All my crabs going to small things and staying inside the loop. They look like they are. Huh. If that's 8s, that's 5s, that's 4s. Let's come around here, 2s, 1s. So it's going to have to be around here. If that's 8s, that's 4s. 4 up there, that seems okay. 1. So is it just this little group of things? What's wrong with 1, 1, 2, 3? I hope this isn't another of those things where I've done this before recording a video and I just haven't been the brightest. Missed a very obvious thing that breaks. 8, 1, 4. 5s, 4s. I keep on checking this, but this works fine, I'm sure. 2s, 3s, 4s would go there. And then that would... So that probably is the solution, isn't it? Because then 3s, 2s, 3s. But that also works with 3s, 1s, 2s, 1s. That's what's confusing me. I am very confused. Okay. Well, let's try this as 7. That cell's got to be 7, 8, and 9. So these are 4s. These are all 7s. Or 8s. Can they touch? I mean, can't that be 5s and that be 7s? Or these are 8s and those are 4s? medium, small, medium, large, small, medium, large. Oh, what am I not doing right? Small, medium, large, small, medium, large, small, medium, large, small, medium, large, small, medium, large. I'm very confused. I might just pause the video, find out what I'm missing, and then all my crabs, they don't leave. Oh, this crab. Sorry, this crab. This crab can't be a 3, can it? Ah, I wonder how long that was. Was that about 10 minutes? That's a 2. Oh dear. That's a 2, which makes this a 3. So that guy can't be 2. That's either 1 or 3. If that was a 1, or if that's a 1, then what's this doing? That's definitely a 3. If that's not 3, that's taking up way too much of all the 7 stuff. This crab has to now come up. Cool. That's cool. Right. 3s are there. These guys are all 7s. These are all 4s. That all looks like that. Those are 1s. These all join up to be 5s. These are all 4s. 1s, 8s, 8s. Finish all that. I even was like checking the crabs, wasn't I? Oh dear. Very good. Apologies for that end, because that was weak. But the rest of it, I think, was acceptable. Very good indeed. Sorry. Yeah, no, interesting. I mean, there was that point early-ish on where I had about 20 minutes of doing nothing, but the rest of it flowed quite well. Solid. Good few givens. Help sort all that out. Nicely placed with all the clues and whatnot. Yeah. No, very good puzzle. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Yeah. don't really have much else to say, I think. I didn't have a... Did I? No, I don't think I had a look at the inspiration puzzles. So I better check those. But yeah, no, very nice puzzle. Thanks for it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Chat to you all sometime later. Bye.